హలో గైస్ అండ్ గర్ల్స్. సో ఆల్రెడీ 13th మీకు జరిగిన గ్రూప్ 2 ఆన్లైన్ టెస్ట్ సిరీస్ అనేది ఏదైతే మనం ప్రోగ్రామ్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తామో అందులో ఫస్ట్ టెస్ట్ భాగంగా సొల్యూషన్స్ పార్ట్ 1 పార్ట్ 2 అనేది రిలీజ్ చేసేస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు పార్ట్ 3 అండ్ పార్ట్ 4 అనేది చూసేద్దాం. విత్ దిస్ వీడియో పార్ట్ 3 అనేది బేసికలీగా ఫండమెంటల్ రైట్స్ ఇస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ చాప్టర్ కదా ఏ ఎగ్జామ్కైనా. సో అందుకని ఇదంతా కూడా ఈ సెషన్ అంతా కూడా ఫండమెంటల్ రైట్స్ మీద టాపిక్ మీద ఉంటుంది. అండ్ ఐల్ బి డిస్కసింగ్ అబౌట్ ఇట్ అండ్ యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ అ తెలుగు వర్షన్ వీడియో ఆల్సో దట్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ అప్ అండ్ తెలుగు మీడియం స్టూడెంట్స్ కెన్ చెక్ అవుట్ దట్ వీడియో బట్ బికాస్ దిస్ వీడియో విల్ బీ టోటలీ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్. ఓకే గైస్. So before I start off the group 2 online test series అనేది ఎవరన్నా first time if you're viewing this video, so for your purpose already we are providing 34 tests and 5100 questions అనేవి English and English Telugu medium లో you can just have a view about what the group 2 online test series are going to be with the free mock test that is available even now. So before April 30 please do approach us by this contact number so that we can give you the login ID and details. With that you can attend your free mock test and decide whether to join the program or not, and you will get a lot of add-ons on this program because we'll be providing regular motivation personal guidance also along with this program. It is not just a test series guys. Inka manam group 2 prelims and mains come answer writing program anedi kuda start chesipothunam. So for this also you can just call us on these numbers available here for the actual details. But briefly giving you a description, prelims test lo group 1 paranga manam 22 tests anedi conduct cheyadam jarugutundi and mains test lo 30 tests, which is a huge number guys. Market lo ever provide cheyaru with a very good reviewer, 2 expert reviewers అనేది మీ పేపర్ని ఇవాల్యుయేట్ చేసి వాట్ ఈస్ రాంగ్, వేర్ ఆర్ యూ గోయింగ్ రాంగ్, హౌ టు ఇంప్రూవ్ అనేది మేము చెప్తూ ఉంటాం. సో ఆల్ ఇన్ ఆల్ యూ జస్ట్ కెన్ హ్యావ్ అ వ్యూ అబౌట్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ బై జస్ట్ కాలింగ్ అస్ ఆన్ దిస్ నంబర్ సో దట్ will be available to you and giving you the right proper things about the program details as well as what the approach of to the exam also. Alane SI and RRB gurinchi kuda memu start cheyabothunam program, so do call us guys for that details also, not just group 1 and group 2 also. So let's today's session lo mana fundamental rights gurinchi chadvedam. So let's quickly get into the session. So the first question in the fundamental rights portion, test ki meeku 19th April na emaithe questions icham, like this all video is about the fundamental rights anamata. It's a major portion of any of the examination. Polity syllabus lo heavy chapter anedi parliament tarvata manam choose fundamental rights. So many of the questions have been asked from this area. So ee questions anedi meeku exam lo em vachche daniki description enti anedi ippudu ee slides dwara chadivedam. So the first question says that fundamental rights which are నాట్ డినైడ్ ఫర్ ది ఏలియన్ ఆర్ ఫారినర్స్ అనేది అడుగుతున్నారు అనమాట. సో ఓన్లీ సిటిజన్స్కి అనేది మీరు బ్లైండ్గా గుర్తుంచుకోవాల్సింది ఏంటంటే ఆర్టికల్ 15, 16, 19, 29 అండ్ 30 ఈ ఆర్టికల్స్ ఓన్లీ మాత్రం మన ఇండియన్ సిటిజన్స్కి మాత్రం అవైలబుల్. రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ది ఆర్టికల్స్ ఫారినర్స్కి కానీ ఏలియన్స్ కానీ ఎవరికన్నా కూడా వర్తిస్తాయి అనమాట. సో విత్ దాట్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ఇక్కడ మనకి అన్నీ కూడా ఏదో ఒకటి ఆర్టికల్ అనేది ఇక్కడ మెన్షన్ అవుతుంది. పబ్లిక్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ అంటే ఆర్టికల్ 16 నుంచి 15 is also here available, which is the discrimination part. 19 is also there. So which is the article that is not denied to aliens or foreigners according to this question is article 14, which is right to equality అనేది మనం ఫారినర్స్ కాకుండా సిటిజన్స్ కూడా ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది. So the answer to this question is B. The next question is which is the statement is true regarding the constitution. So the first option says that constitution is prohibits any discrimination based on any of the grounds. Yes, right, very true. All these on the basis of grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, birth, place of birth and all that, constitution is saying that you cannot, but on the place of ground of residence where you can provide based on the resident anedi chudandi ippudu like some of these states have established like 70% or 90% quota is available for these local students. So that based on residence and local conditions you can give it, but not prohibiting on the other grounds. So this option is right. The second option says that Constitution has single citizenship that provides a uniform rights for fraternity and unity. This is also right. So the answer to this question is both A and B. Then the third thing comes is the state definition of Article 12 describes which are the following entities. So among all these entities, there is some clauses which are not actually mentioned in the Article 12. So Article 12 అనేది ఏంటంటే it defines the state of different provisions like government, parliament, like what comprises the state అనమాట. స్టేట్ డెఫినేషన్ అనేది ఏంటంటే లైక్ గవర్నమెంట్, పార్లమెంట్, ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్, లెజిస్లేటివ్ ఆర్గన్స్ like of the states as well, local authorities, municipalities, if you have any statutory bodies like LIC అనేది, ONGC, SAIL, GAIL, ఇలాంటివన్నీ public sector undertakings, everything will be comprising about the state. So what is not available in the state list is that judiciary at the union and state level, because it is a judiciary is a functional organ of the governance. అందువల్లే C option is wrong. That is why option C doesn't come under the Article 12. So in this slide, guys, we'll be reading some other questions like forcible conversions. Against that provisions, fundamental rights. Which are the fundamental rights? Do talk about it. It is a freedom of conscience that talks about your forcible conversions. You cannot have anybody to convert into another religion as such. So the article 25, according to which it says that freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion is very important. Now comes the next question, which says that incorrect code. Which is the incorrect code? So the first one is incorrect because article 29 says that religious minorities are actually identified in the constitution, not the linguistic minorities, guys. So this forms the answer to this question because incorrect code has been asked. The second option is right because article 30 says that you have the right, the minorities have the right to establish and administer their own educational institutions. So the answer to this question is option A. Next comes, which of the following are wrong? So all fundamental rights, do they get suspended during the fundamental national emergency? No, guys. Like 20 and 21, which is like right to life and liberty, that doesn't never gets just got away during the national emergency ever. Like there are provisions according to the article 358 and 359 which talk about the suspension of fundamental rights during the national emergency conditions. So we'll just check out all the provisions when we come across the test that will deal with the national emergency and emergency provisions. Okay, for time being here, try to understand what the question is actually dealing with. So the second option, it says that parliament can curtail fundamental right by with only the constitutional amendment act. Yes, this is really true, but unless it is not like violating any of the basic structure of constitution, until then parliament is not allowed actually. But if it has to do anything to the fundamental right, it has to be done only through the constitutional amendment act. So this is also the right option. First one is also right. Then the third is also right, like empowers parliament to restrict the members of armed forces, their rights and their even like some kind of important rights that are given to the armed forces. So parliament is the authority that has been given the power. So all three of the options are right. That is why which of the following is wrong? None of the above is wrong. Okay, guys, some of the other questions in this slide. If you see, right of the freedom guaranteed under article 19 to 22, which says that you have assembly, peaceful assembly, you can have speech, association, movement, and according to article 20 you have conviction for offences. You have article 21 according to which life and personal liberty is guaranteed. Then 21A where your education is guaranteed for the elementary people. Then arrest and detention in certain cases, article 22 defines your rights. So accordingly, some of the rights, actually this question should have been not guaranteed under the right article. So the answer to this right away is right to freedom against the bonded labor, because this all comes under the right against exploitation under the articles 23 to 24. So the answer to this question is C, whereas the other two options are right away coming under the right to freedom under article 19 to 22. So next question is, which of the situation where a public office is official is refusing to pursue his duties? The answer right away is mandamus. So what does a mandamus actually mean? That suppose a court can order a public official, any bureaucrat, any officer, saying that you are not performing your official duties. So if you are not performing or refusing to perform, then we will issue a warrant against you, or we can question your public office. So that is a case of mandamus. This is one of the writs that has been provided in the Indian Constitution. So that is the answer to this question, where the public official is refusing to perform his duties, his or her duties, that is mandamus. Next comes, which for the following institutions are prohibited in India? Wherever the state is promoting any of the religious institution wholly, that education institution is debarred. Like state has to maintain, we have seen, right, secularism in India is nothing but the state will maintain equal distance with all the religious instructions. So that is why the answer to this question directly without any explanation, you can just mark it. Institutions wholly maintained by the state are completely prohibited. State can recognize some institutions of religious instructions. They can have a grant given to them. They can also administer under a trust or something, but not wholly under any state. So here are some of the other questions, like recently section 497. First you need to know what is section 497 of IPC. It is nothing but the adultery law, where it says that any man cannot have an intercourse with another wives, so without his knowledge. So that is what adultery is all about. So they have recently decriminalized it because they have said that no man's object is a woman. So according to that, which of the articles are actually being violated because of this section that was present before? So article 14, 15 and 21, according to which 14 says that equality before law, equal protection of law. 15 says that discrimination on based on any of the provisions, and then you have article 21 of life and liberty. That is why all the three provisions are violated before because of this section 497 of adultery law. Now this has been decriminalized. Next question is that article 22 is granting for a person any right to protection against arrest or detention in some cases. Yes, article 22 does that. The next two options have been interchanged, guys. If you see, Article 22 Clause A deals with the ordinary law, whereas Article 22B deals with the preventive detention law. So both have been merged in the sense they have been swapped. So the answer to this question is answer A is the right option. And D, if you see, detention can be extended only by the approval of the High Court judges under the esteemed committee under the High Court. That is how the detention can be extended over the 3 months also. So the this first option forms the correct answer. Next question is Article 13. Under Article 13, what are the actual laws? So what does Article 13 determine, guys? It says that all the laws that were not consistent with the fundamental rights will be void. Like what kind of a laws are not they're violating the fundamental rights? Like law, what does it come under? Like laws like permanent laws where parliament or state legislature make, laws like temporary laws where like ordinances or state governance pass it. Then we have statutory instruments, like suppose an NGT has been formed by statutory and legislation. So all these kinds of things does come under the law definition, but one thing doesn't come is the constitution amendment. Constitution amendment is not treated as a law in the country. That is why option C forms the answer to this question. So here are some of the other questions, guys. According to the writs of the Supreme Court, let us see the first option. Supreme Court can only issue writs regarding the fundamental rights, guys, whereas your high courts can issue for fundamental rights as well as legal rights. So the first option is wrong. The second option says that any aggrieved person can go directly to the Supreme Court. Yes, Supreme Court is always available because the Article 32 gives the power to the Supreme Court and High Courts that any of the people who feel that their fundamental rights are violated, they can directly approach it. So the second option is right. Next question is which of the not following are not under the fundamental rights? If you see, the first option is Article 21A, which says that free and compulsory education is being provided. The second says that right against exploitation, where it says that you are having a right for prohibiting the trafficking of human beings and forced labor. So that is also right according to Article 23. Now the third option, there is no such fundamental rights given to SCs and STs specifically mentioning in the Constitution under the fundamental rights chapter, because this is a provision of DPSP. So answer 3 is the actual answer for this question, which is not related to the fundamental rights. Then the last question for this slide is the Magna Carta of Indian Constitution is nothing but, it's a very simple concept, guys, Bill of Rights that were proposed. So actual Magna Carta of our Indian Constitution is a fundamental rights. So guys, some of the other questions that are related to the fundamental rights here in the slide is which are only available to the citizens. This we've already discussed in the first slide, right? So the direct answer to this question is 15, 16, 19, 29, 30. Next, the untouchability. Which of the options is wrong? So understand, like Article 17 says that we have to abolish the untouchability in any form, right? Untouchability has not been mentioned in the Constitution, but it says that it will always say that, you know, this is a practice that was developed historically. So boycotting of any such practices should be abolished in India. We have to boycott it according to the Untouchability Offences Act of 1955, and also we have later on we have given a renamed it as Protection of Civil Rights Act of 1955 also. So that is why untouchability word is never mentioned in a constitution, and the option B says that it is defined under Article 17. No, it is not defined. It doesn't say untouchability anywhere in the Constitution. So this forms the right option to this question. Next comes the writ jurisdiction. If you see, Supreme Court's writ jurisdiction under the Article 32 is original, but it is not exclusive, because your high courts also have the right to hear the writ petitions. That is why exclusive is wrong word here. That is why option A is wrong. Next question is, high court can issue writs for ordinary legal rights. Yes, high court has a right for writ jurisdiction under the fundamental rights as well as the ordinary legal rights also. So option D is very right. And the third option is the remedy under the Article 32 and 226 is mandatory. No guys, it is not mandatory. It is an alternative remedy that is available, but it is not a mandatory portion that every time and every person we have to maintain ensure that the fundamental rights are not ensured or something like that. It's not a mandatory conclusion. Only person who is aggrieved or who feels that, you know, your right is violated, you might go to the Supreme Court. I may not go because my rights are not violated. So it's an alternative remedy. It is being provided. So the option C is wrong. That is why answer to this question is option B. Let's see some of the other questions which are not defined under the Constitution. None of the above are defined in the Constitution. Martial law or religious minorities, linguistic minorities, nobody is actually giving a definition to all of these provisions. If you read the articles regarding the Article 29, 30 also, you never see any of the word mentioning religious or linguistic minorities. And it says that Article 33 also says that martial forces or martial law, it is not applicable actually. So like any of the definition, like prescribed explicit definition you cannot see, like martial law is this, martial law describes that. Nothing of that sort is mentioned in the constitution. So the answer to this question is option D. Next comes the high court order is quashed by law by the or for tribunal on the grounds of lack of jurisdiction. Like certiorari is a one of the provision, guys. It is one of the provisions like which says that higher court can issue to a lower court saying that you have to transfer a case from a lower court to a higher court just because the efficiency of the case is not going right or the spirit of the case is not going right. So any kind of excessive jurisdiction provisions for the lower courts also, in that cases also a high court can say or the higher order court can say that lower order tribunals or courts have to transfer their cases to the higher order courts. So this is a provision of certiorari. So the answer to this question is C. Under the Article 21, there were some cases which were happening since 2015. The Indian soil is seeing some kind of vibrant cases that have been describing the Article 21 to a vast extent. In that case only, Young Lawyers Association case, we have Hadia case who has the right to choose your husband of your own choice and own religious faith or whatever it is of your own choice. And we have Navjit Singh Johar case also. So all of these cases have been defining and widening the scope of Article 21 time and then again. So all of the questions, all of the options in the above mentioned are right to this answer. So here are some of the other questions, last but one slide. So Article 12, which of the following bodies are not established under the Article 12? So Supreme Court on the judicial capacity, because this is a judiciary organ, different organ of a governance. So this is not mentioned in the article of state definition under Article 12, whereas all the other bodies, LIC or any of the ONGC, SAIL, GAIL, any of the authorities, PSUs are coming under the Article 12 definition. So answer to this question is option A. Next question is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has said that which of the constitutional provisions has attracted major of the debate and criticism? It is obviously your fundamental rights. Even now you can see some of the other cases that happen in the Supreme Court also clearly define some of the other provisions in the fundamental rights. So this is of the major debate and criticism. Answer to this question is option B. Next is when you appoint a public office made in the contrary to the statutory provisions, what does it define? So if you see there are some of the writs, okay, there are some of the provisions that are provided in the constitution to have a check on the organs of the governance. So one of the check is about the quo warranto. Quo warranto is nothing but by what authority or what warrant you have legality of the claim to the public office. So it cannot be issued against any of the ministry or private office, only for a public office, and any of the interested person like you and me also can go and question of any public official by addressing the concern through the high courts or supreme courts and ask them like how can you actually justify the public office. So quo warranto is the answer to this question, where appointment to a public office can be questioned by any person. So here are some of the other set of questions which of the not following are not mentioned in the freedom of speech. So right away I can give you the answer. Right to strike, there is no provision like you have a right to strike that is rightly mentioned in the constitution and you can go out on the streets. That is why you have to take the permission of the magistrate or the district police officer before you go on a strike in the industry or any of the locality, right? So the answer to this question is right to strike. Then which of the following is declared as a part of Article 21? You can see right, we have right to information, that is providing you the freedom of having the choice, expression, life and liberty, everything. Right to information is very right according to some of the judgments of the Supreme Court. Then you have right to reputation, that is why criminal defamation suit is also filed. Like you cannot go and defame any of the person right away in the public media glare and all that. Then you have the right to free education from 6 to 14 years of age. So that is also has been mentioned under Article 21A, which is an amendment that was done. So all of the three provisions are declared under the Supreme Court as per the Article 21. So answer to this question is option D. Next comes which of the right of the articles does come under the right to exploitation. Let me tell you, Article 23 and 24 defines the right against exploitation. Article 23 says that we are prohibiting any kind of traffic in human beings and forced labor, where Article 24 says that we are prohibiting the employment of children in any of the factories of any of the locations. So both the articles define here accordingly in the first option, and whereas the other option which says that you can protect your establish your main educational institutions, but this comes under Article 30, doesn't come under the article right against exploitation. Then you have arrest and detention cases, that is mentioned under Article 22. Then protection against conviction of offences, that comes under your Article 20. So the Article 23 and 24 rightly justify the option A. So that is why answer A is the question. So already discussed question, but in a different form it has been asked. So Article 13, which of the suitable option is the best suiting it? So the answer to this question is D. So let's see A and B, C option. Article 13 declares a constitutional amendment as not a law. Yes, we have already seen that in the previous question. Then article declares that whichever is inconsistent with the fundamental rights shall be void. Yes, that is the actual scope of definition of Article 13. This forms the definition of Article 13. Then let's see the option B, which is wrong, which says that term law has been wider connotation. Includes the permanent laws enacted by the parliament. No, there is no wider connotation as such. Timely, and then we are just trying to define it. There is no wide connotation. Whichever is coming in the form of permanent laws, temporary laws, statutory agreement instruments like bylaws, rules and regulations by notification, orders of the government, or the non-legislative sources like conventional methodologies of lawmaking. So all these comes under, not just the impermanent laws. So this option is wrong. That is why the answer to this question is both A and C. A and C form the right answer.